Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Napick. Every week we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions, and along the way, get ideas to enhance success in all categories of your life. Successful Living with Bill Napick starts right now. And here's your host, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show, Successful Living with Bill Napick. And today, once again, Successful Living with Robin French. Robin is a matchmaking specialist for over 16 years. Her company is called Selective Search, and of course, we're getting close to Valentine's Day. So some of the things that we're going to talk about, Robin, will help people and give us some things to think about as we approach Valentine's Day, and also as we continue to approach this big 2020 year. Robin French, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, here we are, Robin. We think about this. We're about a week or so away from Valentine's Day. You are a relationship expert these many years. What are some of the things that you're thinking about this time of year, and how can we help people, perhaps?
Well, what's heavy on my mind is, of course, like you mentioned, the upcoming Valentine's Day, which I refer to as Singles Awareness Day.
Hey, I like that. Singles Awareness Day, because singles are really... Some of them are glad they're single during Valentine's Day, and then some are not.
That's right. That's right. And this all started, it all started back in October when the holidays were right around the corner, right? And a lot of people are starting to panic if they're not in relationships, or even those who are in bad relationships, want to get out of that relationship. It's just a difficult, very stressful time, especially for singles. And then right when we get out of that stressful holiday, what's right around the corner? Singles Awareness Day. So all of my single friends, they're just heavy on my mind, and my prospects and my clients, they're top of mind, because you really want to, when you're in a relationship especially, you want to be very aware of what are your single guy friends and girlfriends doing during any of these holidays, and let's include them.
That's right. And when you mentioned the holidays, backing up before we even hit the Valentine's Day, that is right. There is pressure, and I know, talking to a friend that is in a relationship, but it's one that this person doesn't see going further, too much further, but the pressure comes on with the holidays, Christmas. Certainly Valentine's Day is a big one when we think about relationships. So yes, it does have some pressure, and as we are single, or those that are single out there, you think perhaps more about, hey, maybe this is the year I'm going to find someone. If you're in not the right relationship, you may be thinking about getting out of it before Valentine's Day, or some people are going to go through the holiday Valentine's Day and then say later, hey, this is not working out. So all these things are going on. It makes me think of the importance, though, of a relationship, of being in the right relationship, and how much that could be a blessing and a super enhancement for life. So a lot of people that are single are out there saying, hey, it's the beginning of the year. I really am going to make sure I do my best to do some things to find that right person here. If they're in Houston, certainly people hear this show outside of Houston. But here, if they're in Houston, they have good odds because it's the fourth largest city.
And that's right. That's right. And we talk about this all the time, don't we? About how to change the situation that you're in if you're single and you do want to find a mate. Of course, I always recommend hiring Selective Search. Right.
And that's right. Let's remind people you are with a company called Selective Search. They can go to selectivesearch.com, and you are not an online dating service. It is.
Nope. We're an offline boutique luxury matchmaking firm, and we were created by a former headhunter, an executive recruiter, and she figured if that methodology, that process works in the professional sector, why wouldn't this work for someone's personal life? So she gave birth to our firm. And that's what it is. It's a hybrid of executive recruiting meets personal matchmaking. And we've got an 87% success rate, so it's worth looking into. Again, selectivesearch.com.
And remember the name. Who can forget it? Robin French, right? That's you. And
that's me.
And for purposes of this show, we have already called you previous shows, and even today, Cupid.
Cupid, yep. Are we going to do we're going to call it Cars with Cupid? Cupid and Cars?
Well, that's right.
Let's do that.
If people see the YouTube video, we are in my car right now doing the show for a variety of reasons. Super audio quality, we think. And We are out here in the middle of this fourth largest city, looking at the traffic go by, and I think it's a good inspiration for us today to have these surroundings, Robin. It's also groundbreaking for this show far as doing it in the car on remote on this beautiful, sunny, crisp day.
It's like comedians in cars, isn't that
That's
what we
right.
talked about? Only it's Cupid in cars.
It's Cupid in cars. We do not have any coffee, and Jerry Seinfeld is not here that I can see, so
time to
that's
bring
okay.
coffee.
But never fear, you have Robin and Bill right here, Cupid in a car, talking about relationships, which is a big thing in our lives. And of all the gadgets and electronics and high tech, having that great relationship is just a super thing. It's about relationships.
It is. And so back to the Valentine's thing. I want to find out, what are you doing for Valentine's? Do you know yet?
I do not know.
Have you made a plan?
I have not made a plan. One thing I do know about Valentine's Day is I have an eye doctor appointment. So I don't know how long it will be till my pupils are undilated or dilated. But, they put that
the
thing
day
in your
of
eye.
Valentine's?
That's right.
Oh.
Have my eye appointment
You-
Valentine's afternoon. How about that? You asked,
man,
I'm telling you. Let
Your
the word-
Valentine could be right in front of you. You
I-
won't even see her.
I won't be able to see her. I will be. Anyway.
But you are going to join us. Hopefully, we'll do a live remote thing at the
That's right.
Valentines.
We have something coming up the evening before. Robin and I
February
will
13th.
be at, what's the name of the place?
Scout and Molly's Boutique. And it's from 6 o'clock to 8:30. It's Scout and Molly's West U.
So that's February 13th,
February
a
13th.
Thursday night, right here in Houston, Texas. We'll be there.
We're just going to sip champagne and wine and eat appetizers and shop. The girls I'll mingle with the girls, give them free advice, sign them up with Selective Search.
And
Maybe-
we'll be
maybe you'll
talking to
chat with
them on
Yeah,
the radio.
that'll be
We'll
fun.
be
And
doing interviews
main thing
with
is
those that
shopping.
want to talk. They'll be
It's a
shopping, talking,
Yeah,
and it'll be a fun time.
it will.
And then the name of the place again is?
Scout and Molly's West U.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock,
They
6
could
to
Google that to
8:30.
get the
They can Google it, but the address is 3311 West Park Drive.
3311 West Park Drive. That's something coming up. So when you hear this show on the weekend, that's a good to do, a great idea to go
February
check it out.
13th. And say hi to Susan Bradley. She's the owner. She's wonderful.
And you'll get to see us. If you don't see this YouTube video, you'll be able to meet Robin and Bill. Here we are, and you are
That'll be fun.
you are Cupid.
I encourage you all, especially all of you women who are listening to this. You don't have to be single to come and sip and shop that and chat with Cupid. Grab a single girlfriend and bring her to Scout and Molly's. And
Sounds like fun.
Help a gal out. Valentine's.
Sounds like fun. And let's tell people also, Valentine's Day, there are many people that don't have plans Valentine's Day. Quite frankly, there are people that don't want to have plans. They'll want to emerge after the weekend or whatever. I don't know. It's funny how people are. So what are you thinking when you I'm sure you've asked other people that question. What are some of the things that you're hearing people say when you say, "What are you doing for Valentine's Day?"
A lot of the singles, you mean? What are they saying? Well, a lot of my friends they're still going to dinner with their pals. They're going to theater. And then another thing is there's a lot of us are going to see a cover band that night. You know, that
that's
cover
right.
band concert
The one
we were
that's like
talking
the
about?
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, she sounds just like Stevie Nicks.
That
and
sounds
so,
like fun too.
yeah, there's a dinner and then a concert after that. I think they're called Nighthawk.
Well, now here I don't know if other men think this, but by the way, if I were going to be on a
Nightbird.
date with someone special on Valentine's Day, I don't think I would choose Friday night to go out to dinner. It's going to be crowded. I think one of the options for Valentine's Day for some people would be to have a nice dinner at home and or choose another day to celebrate it at a restaurant, like maybe Sunday night.
Are you talking as a couple or single?
As a couple, if you
as
have
a
that
couple.
special someone, that just because Valentine's is on Friday, that doesn't mean you have to go to dinner
Oh,
that night.
no. That's
I'm
right.
a big
yeah,
fan
that's
of,
a tough. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of going, when it's easier to
Absolutely.
go, less parking, less hassle, because you don't want hassle on a Valentine's evening, I don't think. But hey, those restaurants are real crowded.
No, yeah.
that
Listen,
night.
I mean, Craig and I, we're not into all of those holidays and certain specific days that you have to do specific things. In fact, for Valentine's, we're very practical people. For Valentine's,
There you go. Let's be practical.
you know what we did? We
love
bought our
that.
favorite coffee maker and split the cost. That was our Valentine's gift to ourselves. We did.
What kind of coffee maker, by
This
the way?
Cuisinart. It's like we have our own little. Like
I love coffee.
Like, oh my gosh, it's a Cuisinart. It's a push button. We're our own little baristas every morning. It's awesome. Yeah.
We'll have to find out more about that because one of the things, I have a variety of coffee makers at my house and have experimented with different ones. But I will tell you this, I have one from about 10 years ago. It's a DeLonghi Magnifica that has broken down twice now, and it's been resurrected. I have not had a better cup of coffee using that with the dark roast Starbucks beans, which are kind of oily, but it delivers a tremendous cup of coffee.
Well, I'll tell you, this
I'm ready for a
Cuisinart,
cup right now.
Right, me too. This
Coffee,
Cuisinart,
Cupid,
let me
whatever.
tell you, we were actually at our friend's house, which, by the way, they're a Selective Search couple that's married through us. They are our besties, and we were staying with them, and we had a cup of coffee from this Cuisinart. It was amazing. And so I followed up with them, asked them where they got it, and a week later we had one.
What kind of coffee beans do you put in there, or what kind of coffee?
That would be a
Curious.
question for Craig.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, we'll
but
have to
he's
get back
the
on
bean
that
man.
because if
He's the bean man in our family.
he is the bean man. So now back to relationships.
back to
and now we're
Valentine's
getting
Day.
into coffee. But
Oh, it's
that's
coffee with
super
Cupid.
fun. It is coffee with Cupid. And hey, there are many things to do with that right person, whether you're just dating, even when you're making a date, or if it's someone like you're saying, you're engaged. If you have that special someone, what's better than having a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, or whatever? That's part of the whole thing. All over the world, people do that.
And, we have to remember that even when we're in relationships, we have to continue dating our partner. Don't stop dating them. These
Try new
relationships
ideas.
need nurturing. Absolutely.
There you go, nurturing.
Yeah, everyone wants and needs to be nurtured. They do.
There you go. Now, one of the challenges people have that are single, whether it's Valentine's, maybe it's more emphasized, maybe not, that is people deal with loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, even those that are in relationships and married, sometimes that's why they get out of a marriage, a person or a couple, because loneliness is there. Let's talk about that from a challenging standpoint. I know you know a lot about that and have talked to a lot of people.
Well, it's interesting, and I shared this with you earlier. I spoke to one of my clients, and I was asking him when he feels most lonely as a single person, and his comment was, you're assuming that the loneliest that I am is while I'm single, but that's not the case. That the loneliest I was when I was married.
There you go.
Wow.
And you would think, I will put this under the topic or the category of things are not what they seem.
Right.
And especially for singles, when you see people that are couples, you see them married, that doesn't necessarily mean they're all happy.
No.
There are many, unfortunately, the divorce rate is so high that, you may be seeing a happy couple or appearing so, and they're going to be getting divorced or in the process of. So,
well, their marriage didn't make it, and he was a smart man, picked up the phone, hired Selective Search, and he's a client now. So we're on the road to getting him in love, and
it's
and
a
his
process.
Life's going to change. That's right. And most people want repeat clients. We don't. We want to get them in love and lose our client.
You don't.
Right?
Well, part of and I will tell people this.
Selective Search, losing clients, one love story at a time.
No, we don't want that. And in fact, one of the things, and that's why you have that success rate, right? Because you have systems and procedures.
We do.
A
process that we follow.
There's a process, and people get to know a lot about that person without the internet and without dating scams and things like that. We
verify everything, which is
those
very
things.
important. That's why we're very busy right now.
So you do a lot of work
the internet
for
it's
your
just, it's
your
time to break up with the internet, break up with online.
Get real. This is a thing that should be analog. It should be, in many ways, old school in the way of meeting people.
Yeah, and sometimes we just need to. The best thing you can do, Bill, is take yourself out of the equation. Part of the problem with all of these relationships that that aren't working for you, or all these false starts, is that you're part of the problem. So when you hire Selective Search, taking you out of the equation in the beginning and letting us kick this off. Well, in the beginning, of course, we have to get down who you are and your world, your lifestyle, what makes you tick. Let's pencil out what you're looking for, and then just kind of sit back and let us take over from there. And because we're going to handpick, phone screen, meet with and interview these women for you. And that's important too, because a lot of times, again, I've said this before, men are so visual. You sit across from beautiful women and there's red flags all over the place, but you just don't see them. And so by having a trained team of experts doing the interviewing for you is really important.
It's a combination, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, a combination of objectivity and also with your people, your associates in your company, there's an objectivity, but there's also where they find out about you. It's also very personal at the same time. Do you think I have that right?
Yes, and you know what? Another benefit.
And you
to
can't
this
get
too.
that from the internet.
No, and another thing too. When this is super discreet, it's 100% confidential and 100% offline. When we're interviewing folks for you, they don't know who they're being interviewed for, so they can't skew those answers according to what they think we want to hear or that you want to hear. Unlike online, where you gave you gave them all the answers, so they know how to skew things and trap you, right? So when these folks are being interviewed, they have to answer straight from the head and straight from the heart. And then if we think they're a must meet, then we'll give you a written presentation and current photos. And, it means that we verified who they are. And it's just a really smart way to date.
Let me ask you this. Of all the things that you could be doing, what strikes me when I think about you, when I think about your company, all the times we've been on the radio together, is that I stop and say, you've been doing this over 16 years. Is that about right?
17 years next month.
Okay. So you could be doing so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it about this profession that keeps you year after year successful with it, but also you're enjoying it too? It's fulfilling you as well, apparently.
It feeds the caretaker in me. It really does. I mean, this is, we're changing lives, and we're just adding so much value to folks' lives, and it's super, super rewarding. It can be very emotional at times, but it's super rewarding. And again, I'm a rescuer. I'm a caretaker. It's what I was meant to do. It's my craft.
Caretaker, Cupid, all those things.
It is.
And that is awesome. I bet you get letters from people a year down the road or whatever.
We do.
Hey, Robin, I can't tell you how much your company has meant, your relationship with us.
You want to hear my favorite one?
Go ahead.
I got to tell you this one. Very early on, when I was a very young matchmaker, I matched Kelly Sue and Thomas. And several years later, my birthday rolls around, and in the mail, I get this card, and it looks like it's written by, a toddler. It's all scribbled, and it's different colors and crayons. And it says, "Happy birthday, Robin," on the outside of the card. And when you open it up, it says, "I am here because of you." And it's signed Love Sunshine. They had a baby girl, and they named her Sunshine.
How about that?
And they made this card to make it look like she had written it to me. She was a year old at the time, and it was just, think about that.
That's
and you're
very
not just,
awesome.
Yeah, it's not just the two people that you're putting together. Think about the families involved, how happy these families are that you have this new wonderful partner, how the kids are affected with this positive role model. There's just so much benefit from this. But by putting it in the hands of an expert, I can't tell. 36% of our clients are exclusive by the first person we introduce them to. We're at 48% by the fourth introduction. We know what we're doing here. It's just, you just have to make that decision to break all your bad habits and hand the search over to experts.
SelectiveSearch.com. No doubt about it. And Robin, with the last few minutes, what are some of the other things that you want to make sure people know about? Again, the website, SelectiveSearch.com. You could ask for Robin French. Look for her. How else can they contact you, Robin?
713-806-2681, or you can email me, Robin, ROBIN, just like the bird, at SelectiveSearch.com. And
bird, huh? The Robin?
Robin like the bird, French like the language.
Too easy.
Can you
What's the number again, real quick?
713-806-2681.
Okay, with the last 2-3 minutes, what else should people know? You want to tell them about the event next week real quick again?
We call it our Valentines event. It's February 13th, 6 to 8:30, and it's at Scout and Molly's, West U, 3311 West Park Drive. And I just
And the
encourage
owner
you.
of that company again is
Susan Bradley.
Okay.
She's awesome. The clothes are so adorable. It's just a really great boutique. But more than that, it's just a great chance for you to grab one of your single girlfriends or several of them, and just it's a good girl time. Let's sip champagne, sip some wine, and eat some appetizers, and girl talk, and shop, and talk to Bill.
And we will be there doing
Yes.
the radio show for
Yeah.
a brief time during the time
It'll be
it's
lots
open.
of fun.
It will be fun. And if you could tell singles out there a quick idea of maybe some of the things they should think about, if they're in the process where they want to find someone, they can call Selective Search, reach out to you. But what else would you encourage
To do for
them?
Valentine's?
No, just to do in general.
Well, first off, we talk about this all the time. Get out of the house. You know, people complain that they're lonely, and complain that they're not
And they're
meeting
sitting
anyone.
around watching Netflix or
watching
whatever.
Netflix or behind their computer or on their phones looking at their Facebook. Get out of the house. We've talked about this before, whether it's
It's that simple.
volunteering
It's very simple.
or going to your church singles group, or just eating your dinner at the bar in the restaurant. You wouldn't believe how many people you meet. You like to go to hotel lobby lounges, right? And listen to music.
I listen to a piano player,
And you don't feel
music,
alone, do you?
trio.
You
One
always
of my,
meet.
I'll give this tip out again. One of my favorite things as far as meeting someone, even if you're in a relationship or the first time, meeting someone at a luxury hotel in the lobby where you can actually have a conversation. And there's plenty of nice hotels around this
Oh,
city in
there
Houston.
are.
And if you're somewhere else, same thing.
Yeah, I like to interview folks at hotel lobby lounges. I like to interview people out and about,
I do too.
not in an office, because I want to get them out of their work bubble. I want to see them how their dates would see them at a restaurant, a coffee shop, a lobby lounge, and see how they treat people.
You know what I like, Robin?
What?
I like doing radio shows in my car. And that's what we have done here today. We may
It's
do this
fun.
some more.
When you first proposed this idea, I was like,
I-
okay, all right.
Well, here we are off of Westheimer in Houston, Texas, in my car with Robin French.
And his new car, it's a nice one, ladies.
And you could see this on the YouTube video. Just go to radiobill.net. It will be posted. You could check us out right here. And in the meantime, go to selectivesearch.com. Thank you, Robin French.
Thank you,
Until our next
It's
coffee
always
with
fun.
Cupid, it will be fun. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to Successful Living with Bill and Robin today.